Well, hi. It's Grandpa Ricky, and the topic today is global spiritual emergence. Um, I haven't been making any videos because I've been so busy, and I've been busy trying to clean up my life, and I kind of got lost, and I've been getting very confused. I've been COVID sheltered for 4 months now. I've been getting out a little bit. I've heard new things that are making it easier to go out. I'm having to be more and more and more careful as I've become more and more aware. And I woke up this morning realizing that we're all in this together and that this is a spiritual emergence for the whole planet. And some people are trying to make life go backwards and get it like it used to be. But I think that's always impossible. Clinging on to the past is dangerous. And just living for the future and having agendas and stuff, that's necessary, but it's pretty dangerous. And so I've been having a lot of trouble at home. I've been very grumpy. And my partner June and I have been kind of going nerd. And sometimes we say things to each other that are pretty hurtful. And so I'm lucky because I have spent my whole life, all 82 years of it practically, trying to be sane. I thought being sane was acting like other people. But I very early realized that my parents were very big into pretending they were okay, pretending they had money, pretending they were healthy, pretending they were happy. And they had a very hard life, very easy compared to a lot of other people, but it wasn't the life that they had wanted. They both came, they were both very poor and as kids. And so looking good and having nice clothing was important to them. And as luck had it, they couldn't afford. They could for a while, but they couldn't afford nice clothes. They couldn't afford to look good. They had huge medical bills. I was a big problem as a kid, and so I was surrounded by pretending, and very and I had to drinking and doing crazy things. And I was really unaware. I hurt a lot of people. I got hurt by a lot of people. And I was just, I couldn't even feel it. I couldn't feel how I'd hurt people. I couldn't feel how I'd been hurt. I was really up in my head. I wasn't present. And I've been very lucky because people have been really great to me, and people have come and said, hey, you want to come over here, or you look like you need some help. And they wouldn't even ask me if I wanted it. They would just pitch in. And I've been trying to pass that on. And so yesterday I had this wonderful conversation with my friend. I had wanted to talk with him because he's a great trainer of cats. And he has a great sense of humor, and I love this guy and his wife, and because he is who he is. He's unapologetic about who he is, and he's very identified with being a Republican, and he's identified with making a lot of money and having nice things. Although I've noticed that's going to, he has a fairly simple life in lots of ways. And anyway, I was down having lunch with him before the COVID thing, and he and his wife and some friends, and they were talking how much it hurt that their non-Republican friends were getting so angry at them that they were stopping the friendship. And I've been seeing the same thing. I've been seeing that, if somebody disagrees with me, I don't want to have anything to do with them. Rather than saying, okay, we disagree, but what do we agree on? What do we enjoy doing together? So my friend and I had this conversation about how sad it was that good friends were stopping their friendship because they were angry at one another for what they believed should happen economically and socially, and that this guy, he says somebody's called me a racist, and my response was, hey, everybody's a racist. It's like you got to realize that, we fear difference. But so what? It's just a fear. Let's investigate the difference. Different skin, different politics, different amounts of money, different value systems. And so I'm really happy because I've got friends who are, meth freaks living under bridges that everybody spits at. And I get together with them and we have a nice time because they have parts of them that are as nice or nicer than the parts of me. And if you want to check this out, check out the pets of street people. The pets are pretty happy. They're loved. But anyway, I digress. So I want to tell you about Susan Campbell, my friend Susan Campbell. And she's a psychologist and a therapist and a very wise woman. And she has a program called Getting Real. And I love her work. It's based on something called psychosynthesis, which I also love. And also, she's very big into non-duality. And so, non-duality is where you realize that we're connected to everything. We are everything. We need everything in our world. We don't know it, but that's for us to kind of wake up to it. And so I commend you to look into Susan's work, Getting Real. She has these great games and she's got a great sense of humor and great curiosity. And those are two qualities to watch for, curiosity and humor. And so when I was talking to my friend, I really saw that the world is in an emergence of reality, an emergence of what is so. And everyone is angry, or not everyone, a lot of people are very angry at President Trump. And they say he's this and he's that and he's the other thing. And then there are a whole pile of other people say, hey, he's a good guy. He makes mistakes like everybody else, but so what? And that's growing up a little bit. He is who he is. And of course, other people say, well, he's a racist, or he's sexist, or he's thisist, and he's a consumerist, and he's causing havoc and pain and suffering. And my response is, well, that's what he's doing. What am I doing? Where am I blind to the suffering that I'm creating? And so my friend and I were talking, and he was sad about the gap, the difference. Why didn't people agree with how he saw the world? And I've got other friends who are just so angry at Republicans and angry at the police And then I've got police friends who are angry at the protesters. Don't they obey the law? Why don't they see how important it is to obey the law? And I say to them, well, they're pretty upset because things aren't fair from their perspective. And America has not been great for them. And America isn't great now because they see the suffering. They don't like women treated the way they're treated. They don't like people of color treated in a way that white people don't treat other white people. And people say, "Oh, this business about make America great again." Well, great for a few people, but not great for everybody. And a while ago, I was talking about, well, let's make life great for everything and everybody. It's just another problem. And so yesterday, I got into this great debate about, well, let's hope that this is a death and rebirth and emergence of what is real. So you gotta come out of your closet, take the lid off. Oops, I'm a racist. Well, okay, now what do? Do you get somebody to shoot you? I don't think so. You figure out how you can stop the racist behavior. If you're somebody who is wanting to give somebody else's money away, which is how a lot of people view what's going on now, then okay, let's do something about it. So everybody can win. And in the conversation that I had with my friend yesterday, I said, how's so-and-so, who was a police officer? And he'd been in the military, and he's a very brave, nice guy, funny, curious, has all kinds of lovely, lovely, lovely qualities. And he is really concerned that people want to abolish the police and make the police into firemen, that they just sit around the station waiting for something to happen. And that their hands will be tied, and that the crooks and bad guys will be running the streets, smashing things and just going nuts. And that the only safe thing to do is have a lot of guns and a lot of ammunition and try to protect yourself and hope that you live through it. And I thought, okay, that's where he is. Thank God that's coming out. I had a pal in Albuquerque, and I was talking with him. It turned out he had a collection of 50, I don't know, I'm not good with numbers, but like over 50 Kalashnikov rifles and 30,000 rounds of ammunition. And I found out yesterday that one bullet for a Kalashnikov is worth $1 or $2. The guy's sitting on a fortune. And I thought, when I found this out in Albuquerque, I said, geez, what do I say to somebody like this? And my spirit guides came in and say, try this sentence. And I said, geez, have you had to use those guns? And the guy looked at me with his face just softened, and he looked at me, he said, no, thank God, I haven't had to use them. And I didn't get into when he thought he would have to use them. I'm sure he had a lot of good stories. But I thought, okay, so how can we redeem ourselves? How can we say, yeah, I'm pretty frightened about what's happening? And so in yesterday's conversation, we got to the point where my friend said, well, the only thing that works when people are so divided is war. And I said, no, I don't think so. That's how it used to be. But now we've got a rising in consciousness. We're seeing reality more clearly. We're seeing that we live in different worlds. We're identified with different things. I say I'm this way, you say you're that way, and I say, oh, we're different, therefore we're dangerous. This stranger danger idea is like, wow, it's fear-based. And it's like, well, okay, so if you believe that and I believe this, how can we get together and what can we make together? So I said to my friend, I said, well, hopefully this is a turning point in the evolution of consciousness for the whole planet. And that we will start to see, oh, we can make war. And how do wars end? Well, everybody gets tired and turns everything back to the Stone Age. And you make an armistice and you quit and you try to rebuild. Or else one person beats the crap out of somebody else and damages them so much and feels like, there, I'm a winner. But then, years later, they're confronted with the fact that there's been this old grudge, and the people who got beaten want to redeem their courage and redeem their power, and they want to beat the person who they were enemies so long. And look around the world today, and how many people are carrying on wars that were theoretically won 1,000 years ago. Like, oh, we kicked those guys out of here, and those guys are back, and now they're saying we're here. You can't throw us out, and blah 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 blah. It's like, hey guys, what's to be learned here? And that is, let's get bigger. And let's abolish capitalism, and let's abolish socialism, and let's abolish communism, and let's stop this my religion's better than your religion. Hey, all religions are good. They got good stuff. But people get caught up in the exteriors. And so we don't have to destroy each other's religions. And we got to invent some new economic model where everybody in the planet gets enough. Now we can do it because we're smart. And we've got technology coming along just like, oh my God. Yesterday I also spent time with two of my friends, and they're like scientists, and they're working on these amazing things in the world. And they think big, and they think with facts, and they think possible, and they keep up on inventions. And I thought, oh yeah, here we come. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I want to tell you, please join me in trying to figure out, what is this spiritual emergence? Who are we as a planet? Who are we as human beings? It's a big question, and sometimes I look at myself and I think, oh my God, and I'm embarrassed and ashamed and frightened and confused. But that's what it's like when when parts of us are dying and other parts of us are being born, and when our consciousness is elevating. And every morning I do these exercises to try to get in touch with everything's important, everyone's important. How am I like everything and everyone? How does it all fit? What can I do to be kinder, to be more compassionate, to be non-judgmental? And it's hard because, like, my shadows, I call them, they're coming out. I mean, I found myself saying something to June that was just like, God, who said that? Well, pretty frightened part of me, a pretty old part of me, part of me that I need to befriend, because I've got bully parts, you've got bully parts, we've all got bully parts. What causes bullies? Well, fear. And there used to be a saying when I was an educator with little kids. The kid who's the bully, the kid who throws the first punch is the kid who really needs the first hug, because that kid just can't control the fear, and so they're lashing out, trying to control with anger. And I look at the demonstrators trying to control the people in power, trying even to get the people in power to acknowledge, like, hey, my people have been hurt for hundreds of years, and please acknowledge my suffering. And then I'm looking at the other side, and they're, please acknowledge my suffering and how awful it is to try to uphold the law. And then you got a whole pile of other people saying, well, I'm sorry, but I think the law is wrong. The law protects white people, but it doesn't protect non-white people. And it doesn't, the law sets it up so that some people have a lot of money and other people have none. And now it's at a point where a few people have a lot of money, and America's a great place, and all the other places that they can have money, they're great places. But most people are just suffering like crazy. There's not enough, and they feel bad and stupid that they haven't got enough. Instead of saying, hey, what do you need? And I've been lucky, because a long time ago I learned this thing about, hey, I don't need much. I don't need much. I'm just, simple is good, used is good. And it's like, what's in my heart is really far more important than all the stuff that I've got. And of course, what happens? I've got so much stuff. I've got 2 storage lockers that I'm trying to get rid of. And just piles of stuff. And it's like I'm finally recognizing that the stuff, all my stuff, and getting new stuff, that helps me feel like I'm going to be okay, because parts of me feel like I'm not going to be okay. And so it's like, okay, so let's deal with that. What will it take for me to be okay? Right now I'm trying to borrow a small RV so that I can make sure that June and I could get out of here if there was a fire, and have a place to live. I had to evacuate last year because there was a threat of fire, and I had no place to go. And I thought, boy, it'd be so nice to have a little RV. And we need a little RV because the driveway's not big enough. But those are simple. You see, those are simple problems. And I know that, at some point, somebody's going to have an RV to loan us. So having faith that it's going to work out. And my mother taught me that. My father taught me how to be a worrywart. But that's another subject. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this has helped. And please make your videos, or get a soapbox and put it up and just start telling about what works for you and what you're thinking about things right now. I hope that this is helping you kind of get over just being pissed at whoever it is that's not thinking like you. Because that's the real issue. The real issue is keep saying, where's the common ground? Angelus Arians used to quote that poem by that fellow Rumi, or maybe it was written by the guy who says he translated Rumi, I don't know. But it was, let's meet beyond the fields of right and wrong. Let's meet in that place where we can come together, and where we can share in the beauty and in the terror of life. And we could admire the flowers together and admire life together. So keep on staying calm and carrying on. That's what life's all about, breathing in and breathing out. And the other thing was, I wanted to close with a song that I've been singing for 25 years. And it's a song in Spanish or Quechua or something, and I've forgotten the words to it. And it goes like this. It's vuela, vuela, which is fly, fly. And it goes vuela, vuela, sui, sui, fly, fly, bluebird. And the part that I really like of this song is Vuela, vuela, condorcito, a condor in the Andes, huge bird. They're like, big, big wings. And it goes, vuela, vuela, condorcito, vuela, vuela, condorcita, vuela, 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 vuela. Vuela, vuela, aguilita, eagle. Vuela, vuela, aguilita. Vuela, vuela, aguilito. Vuela, vuela, aguilita. Vuela, vuela, aguilito. Asanchinicagua. No idea what that means anymore. Asanchinicagua. Larga vista, Cagua, long view, long view. Larga vista, Cagua, Cagua. Family once Cagua, family once Cagua. And so the idea is I invite you to be a bird, to make your consciousness into a big bird. One of those birds doesn't take too much energy. That's what eagles and condors are really good at. They don't work too hard. They're pretty lazy in lots of ways because they save their energy for when they need it. And so they're flying and flying and flying, and they've got a long view, and they've got great awareness tools, and they're looking and they're looking, and they're taking the long view, the big view, and they look at their family. And what's your family? You're a family of man. We're all humans. And we're all alive. And here's the big one. We're all have consciousness. And and then it gets into, well, what has consciousness? And I believe everything has consciousness. And when you add it all together, it's like a big computer, a big network of computers. So that's why I'm so interested in what's called non-duality or oneness. So there you go. Fly, fly. Larga vista. Take the big view. Stretch, stretch, and try to be as kind as you're able to, and do your best, and don't beat yourself up if some of your asshole parts come out and you're mean and lose it and stuff like that. That's reality. We've got to allow each other to have meltdowns and to get things wrong. And yesterday I was trying my fourth attempt at trying to cook crepes. And I've noticed whenever I try to cook something new, the kitchen is a mess. Like, oi, is it a mess? And why is it a mess? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And gradually I get it so that I can effortlessly and with one pot prepare all these meals. Well, life's like that. We're all so afraid of making mistakes and making a mess. And I guess the only thing I can say is try making a mess and forgiving yourself and then saying, I'm going to try harder next time. And maybe I'll be successful and maybe I won't. But I'm going to keep trying. So there you go. I hope this hasn't been too preachy-teachy, but I so want to make this for you, for my granddaughters, for my friends who are struggling and angry and scared about the divisiveness that's going on, for my friends who are being whacked around by police and border patrol people, and for my friends who are border patrol people. And I have friends. Everybody's my friend, and you can be closer or further, and I have people who hate me, who think I'm the biggest jerk in the world, and I've done things that have hurt them. And I still love them, and they're still my friend. And I'm very sad I hurt them. And there's some people, when they come around, I just get pissed at them because parts of me are afraid of them. Wherever you find people getting pissed with one another, you want to believe there's fear in there of some kind. Okay, remember, we're in a spiritual emergence. And by the way, look up Stanislav Grof on YouTube. Somebody, probably his wife, is putting tapes, like recordings of all the talks he's given over the last, I don't know how many years. And the man has a big perspective, and we need big perspective thinkers, okay? So, hope you enjoy Stanislav. I love him. Okay.